and share my screen. And if somebody could just tell me when you can see the slide. Okay, let me just drop this down. Okay, can everybody see this slide?
Yes, Duncan.
Perfect. Great. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Duncan Wood. For anybody that's new, just to give you a brief background about myself, I started off life as a builder, construction company for a number of years, moved to multi-level marketing, and that led me to internet marketing, which I've been doing for quite a few years now, too many years to mention. I've had fantastic success, but I've also had like lots of people, lots of disasters, lots of companies that I joined to stick with and stay with aren't around anymore. And in actual fact, last year, 2018, was one of the worst years I've ever had. I had more money going out for the first time in a long time than I've experienced. And that you can only last for so long. And it got to a crisis point, literally, where I was literally counting the months before something drastic had to happen. I was looking around like a lot of people. I've been let down by company after company. I don't give up. I always know there's something out there. I didn't think for a minute it would be to do with crowdfunding, but a very good friend of mine, John Van Dersen, messaged me one night. This was actually to do with another company, a previous company, but that company led me to this. I actually called John. John had received in this previous company 56,000 within 16 days. I had to call him to find out how on earth did he receive that kind of money in his bank in such a short period of time. So I went into it in great detail, came off the phone with him that night, joined that night, and literally best system I have ever seen. Now, long story, I'll explain it more in a minute, but that led me to this company, IMPACT101, and this company launched on the 17th of January. I'm going to tell you about IMPACT101, what it is, where it's going, and why you need to take a serious look at what is happening in the world right now. So what is crowdfunding? It's a process of raising funds either through a project or for any cause, through a group of people working together. As its name suggests, it's a crowd of people helping each other. Is it legal? I can tell you absolutely yes. Crowdfunding using peer-to-peer crowdfunding is totally legal in every country throughout the world. There are different types of crowdfunding, and this slide here shows you the main types. And I can assure you, I did my own research. I phoned a very good friend of mine who's a solicitor, only because some friend of mine did say to me initially that this was illegal. He put doubt in my mind, so I decided, right, I'm going to check this out myself, and I can tell you categorically, without any doubt, peer-to-peer crowdfunding is legal in every jurisdiction, in every country throughout the world. My advice is go and do your own research. You can go to this site here, the FCA. This is the UK Financial Conduct Authority. But peer-to-peer basically is one person sending a donation by choice to another person direct to them. So why crowdfunding? Well, crowdfunding has come about mainly because of what's been going on in the banking industry, but also because of the internet and especially because of social media. The banks have created a massive problem. Basically, people have lost faith and trust in the banking system. Since the crash in 2006, 2008, we are still feeling the effects of that now, and it's not just in this country, it's practically every country in the world. And it's for various reasons. I'm not going to go into great detail, but the banks have created the problem. Basically, there is a major problem in our financial system. And if you think that was the last banking crisis, think again. Have a look what's going on in various countries. Australia, I was reading about recently, is about to have a major crash in their housing market, all because of what the banks are being up to. There has to be a better way. If you look at the banking system, the banks actually don't lend or have any money to lend you. They actually create a credit, a debt to you. And the banks are also creating a major problem because they are printing money they haven't got. They're just creating it out of thin air. That in itself creates another problem because the currency in most people's hands is depleting in value. So there is a major problem in the world. Crowdfunding is now filling that gap. There are some institutions, have a look yourself, that are stating that crowdfunding is actually going to replace the banks. And it's actually one of the fastest growing industries in the world today. These are just some of the sites, some of the main sites that you'll find on the internet. I had heard of a lot of these companies, GoFundMe and Indiegogo. I'd heard of them. I didn't really understand what they did. I thought they were loan companies. But go and have a look yourself. Right now, GoFundMe is the #1 crowdfunding system, or platform, should we call it, in the world. You can see here they total raised $5 billion. Now, the difference between IMPACT101 and the way all these companies work, if you think about it, they're not doing it for the good of the health. They're doing it for one reason: to make money. How do they make the money? They charge a percentage for each donation. Now, that is the main difference between Impact and these companies. Now, it's not just crowdfunding that's growing massively. This is the market size of the industry. Currently, Fundly, a website you can go to, stated in 2017, $34 billion was donated through platforms similar to this. And that is projected to grow by 300 billion by 2025. So ask yourself this question: how much of that 300 billion would you like? And that is growing massively. How fast is it growing? Well, this is not just per year. This is ongoing. This has been growing at 136% crowdfunding throughout the world, year on year, for the last 3 or 4 years. So this is a massive market that's growing, and we haven't seen anything yet. So just to give you some idea, PayPal, one of the biggest, I said one of the biggest, it's the largest payment provider in the world. They have now integrated crowdfunding into their platform. For a company of this size throughout the world, for them to integrate a new system into their existing system is a major undertaking. They'll have done massive amounts of research into what the next trend is going to be. And it's not just PayPal. Social media now is jumping in on the bandwagon. They're now allowing members to donate money for charitable and product-based fundraising. Facebook, we've all heard of Facebook, now allows anybody in the world to donate to any cause. So this is, it might be new to new people, but anybody can crowdfund. That's the main thing. A lot of people think that you need to have, or need to be a charity, or you need to have a reason or a cause. No, you don't. Anybody can crowdfund. And as I said, this system is likely to overtake or take a place, the banking system. If you think about whatever you need money for, it might be you want to start your own business. It might be you need to buy a house. It might be you need to get out of debt. Either way, how would you raise money? If you go to the bank, you borrow the money, you're paying interest, and that's if you ever keep on top of the interest. Here is a way that anybody in the world can generate revenue for whatever reason they want without that money is yours. It's your money, it goes straight into your bank account. There is only one criteria: you do need to be 18 or over, and you do need a phone and computer. So as I said, this works in every country throughout the world. You do need internet access, of course, but anybody can do it. Nowadays, everybody does everything by mobile. So who's behind this company? Well, it's this gentleman, Frank Savadio. By chance, in the previous company I mentioned, Frank was also in that company. He is a very successful businessman, has been in business for 45 years. I, by chance, was sending Frank a donation and by Bitcoin, and he had something which it really impressed me. It was actually something to do with like a receipt that you would get for paying a Bitcoin transaction. And I messaged him and I said, wow, where did you get that from? I want it. And he messaged me back and said, did you like it? And from that brief, we had a conversation that night. He then also actually spent an hour with me, helping me set up a Trezor wallet, which I hadn't got a clue how to do. And that was the last conversation I had with him, until I then heard that he decided that he wanted to set up a similar system to the company that we were with that had problems galore. He decided this was too good of an opportunity to miss. he decided, I'm going to do this myself, I'm going to do it properly, and I'm going to make this the #1 crowdfunding system in the world. So that's what he did, and on January the 17th, 2019, literally just over 3 months, not even that, three months ago, Frank started and launched this company. So Frank has 20 years marketing and sales experience. He formed Castle Rock Research, which is a BC study guide specializing in marketing, QR codes, and mobile landing pages. And in 2011, he formed the existing company, still running. IMPACT101 is just another arm on this company, QRGL Marketing Incorporated, with his partner, Hans Lumen. His partner, Hans, is the technical guy, and they've been together now for 25 years. So on the 17th of January, IMPACT101 was launched. This is Hans. He is a very experienced technical guy. These two guys have done a lot of work for blue chip technology companies, especially to do with blockchain. And Hans has 30 years experience in developing custom solutions for leading high-tech companies. He is on the board of directors of Link Global Technologies Incorporated, a Canadian blockchain company. And as I said, both Hans and Frank formed QRGL back in 2011, and then in January the 17th launched IMPACT101. Now there is a team of people behind these two guys, and all I can tell you is what we've seen to date is just unbelievable what's happened. So why this company? Well, imagine if you got involved in any of these companies. They're all brand name companies. Every person practically in the world will have heard of these companies. And these companies all have one thing in common. They're all to do with the internet. They're all to do with the massive change that's happening throughout the world right now. When I first spoke to my sponsor, John Van Derzen, I was sending him a donation, and another guy called Joe Mohammed. And Joe and I had a conversation that night, and we were talking about how things have really dramatically changed in the last 3 or 4 years. And there is a massive change happening. I can hear somebody who's got some noise in the background. If you could mute yourself, everybody can hear you. So there is a massive change going on in the world. So imagine if you'd got involved in any of these companies. Imagine how wealthy you'd be today at the start of these companies. Timing is everything, really is. And imagine if you'd got involved in Microsoft or Amazon, how wealthy would you be? So the timing is perfect right now. Not only do we have IMPACT101, which uses state-of-the-art technology, but we also have crowdfunding, one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now, with the banking system, which is failing people. So timing couldn't be better. It really is. You are in the right place at the right time, and it is all about timing. So how does IMPACT101 actually work? Well, it's a single platform crowdfunding and marketing system that allows you and anybody you introduce to receive half of everything that happens in what we call the donation grids forever. It is literally forever if you wanted to. As long as you keep donating, you keep receiving, and you always keep receiving 3 times more than you're donating. Basically, you will have all have heard the saying, give and you shall receive. In this system, we give first, we share, and we receive. And as long as you keep donating, you keep receiving. And as I said, you're always receiving more than you're donating. So this system, IMPACT101, is based on a 2x2 grid process. This system is not new. It is actually the most successful, what they call follow me donation process in history. Other companies have been using it. It works brilliantly. What does the follow me mean? Well, it actually means anybody that you personally introduce and their team follows you on every grid for life. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, what it means is you introduce a person once, and that person constantly keeps donating back to you forever, literally. So this is a team crowdfunding system. What does that mean? Well, it means it's not based on your own efforts. The grids can be filled from above, from what you do and what people you introduce do, a combination of all 3. and you can literally receive donations seconds after registering. So this is a peer-to-peer, as I said, team crowdfunding system. What does that mean? Well, there's no middlemen, and this was one of the main key points that attracted me to this. I am fed up, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call that have had the same experience of putting my money into a company, building up, spending months, sometimes years, building and helping that company grow. And then I go to withdraw my money and it's unavailable. I can't get it out. It's stuck. It's gone. I'm fed up with that. I've been let down, and so have lots of other companies, time and time again. So what attracted me to this immediately was when I realized that none of the donation that is sent goes to the company or even through the company. It is literally one person sending a donation directly to you or you to them, directly to their bank account. Now that is what is the key point about this. There's no beneficiary, no middlemen. 100% of the donation goes from one person direct to the other person. The company does not take a percentage. So remember I said to you the main difference between Impact 101 and all those other companies is they all make their money by taking and charging a percentage for each donation. That's how they make their money. All this company does is take a $25 6 months or $40 for a year. That is the only money that ever goes to the company. So Impact 101 provides you with a complete, totally automated, feature-rich dashboard, and this dashboard displays everything in real time. So it allows you to monitor your donations literally second by second. Okay, so as I said, the only money that ever goes to the company is your 6 months or 12 months subscription. 6 months is $25. That can be paid either with Visa or MasterCard, through PayPal, or if you have a PayPal account, you can actually go through PayPal directly, through Stripe, Dash, Bitcoin, and we have a token system as well. And as I said, that's the only money that ever goes to the company. The donation's totally separate. So once you've paid your license fee, you then choose the grid or grids. We're actually showing 3 grids here, the 40, the 80, and the 150. My advice is, if you can afford it, start with at least 3 grids. You really will not look back if you do. The more grids you have open, the faster you will see the results. And it's the results that will get you motivated. It really is. So you choose your grids. Once you've chosen your grids, you then set up the payment methods that you wish to receive donations by. This is really important because you can literally receive donations literally that day. When I first registered, I actually had 2 donations without doing anything. I actually literally went to bed that night, woke up in the morning, and there was donations in my bank account. So it's very important to set up the methods that you wish to receive donations. This slide is already out of date. We've got 2 other options, and there's other options that aren't even listed. So as an example, everybody's heard of PayPal. You can choose PayPal, TransferWise, Uphold, a great company called ORU. You can choose direct bank wire, direct to your bank account, and obviously crypto, Bitcoin, Dashcoin, or also you can get donations through those methods. So once you've set up your payment methods, and my advice is set up as many as possible. The more methods you offer, the easier it is for anybody anywhere in the world to donate to you. Once you've done that, you need to donate now. And as an example, each grid is split. So this is showing as an example, the $40 grid, $20 would go to one person, $20 to another. In the $80 grid, $40 to one person, $40 to another. And in the $150 grid, $75 to one person, $75 to another. Once you've donated to 2 people, or more, it depends on how many grids you have, you are up and running and ready to start promoting. Now these are the 8 grids in total. There are only ever 8, and there only ever will be. You can only have 1 at each level open at any one time. You can have up to 8 grids open, and all those grids are running simultaneously at the same time. Now, as you can see, the grey figures are the amounts that you donate. So 40, 80, 150, 300, 600, 1200, 2,400, and the top one, 4,800. Basically, once you've donated, you are eligible now to receive back 3 times what you donated on each grid level. So as an example, take the $40 grid, you've donated $40, you will receive back now, 6 times $20 donations, totaling a total of $120. Take the highest grid, 4,800, you will have donated 2,400 to one person, 2,400 to another, and now you're eligible to receive back 6 times 2,400. The grids work exactly the same, whether it be the $40 or the 4,800, exactly the same way. You have 6 positions below each grid. Those positions, as I said, can be filled from above, from your sponsor, from what you do, or the people you introduce, or a mixture of both. It doesn't matter which way around you work it out. Either way, you get exactly the same result. And the great thing about it is the people that you've personally introduced follow you right through. So this is it in picture form. 3 simple steps. Once you've paid your license fee, $25 or $40 to the company, you are registered, and you just now need to become an active member. What's an active member? It's a person who has donated to 2 people. So there's you at the top. All you need to do now is find 2 people like you that need or want more money right now, and help them do exactly the same. So in this scenario, there's you found Sue and Bill. Just so you know, the grid fills left to right, top to bottom, automatically. You can't place anybody anywhere. Why is that important? I'll tell you why. Because nobody can fiddle this, nobody at all. It's completely automated, it's out of your control, and that's what I love about this system. It actually cuts out dishonest people. If you donate, you don't go into the grid, simple as that. So once you've found 2 people, Sue and Bill, help Sue and Bill now find 2 people each. So in this example, Sue has found Sally and Jack, and Bill has found Tom and, let me just find the next person, Dan has dropped in there. So you will have at this point received, you've donated $40 in the $40 grid. If this was the $80 grid, you'd have donated $80, and you'll have received back 3 times. So in this $40 grid, it would be 6 times $20, so you've received $120. If it was the $80 grid, 6 times $40. So every time that you have filled a grid, you have received back 3 times what you donated. And you can do that again and again and again. Once the grid is finished, what you do, donate again, and you now receive again and again and again. So let's just break it down. There's the $40 grid as an example. There's you. You, let's say, introduce Sue. It could have been your sponsor that introduced Sue. It doesn't matter. It's exactly the same result. Sue donates $20 to you and $20 to your sponsor. Let's say now Bill comes in. Again, it could be you that introduced Bill. It could be your sponsor that introduced Bill. It doesn't matter. Bill donates $20 to you and $20 to your sponsor. Let's say now Sue now introduces Sally. You could introduce this next person, or it could be Sue that introduced it. Again, it doesn't really matter. Either way, Sally donates $20 to Sue and $20 to you. Jack donates $20 to Sue and $20 to you. Bill now introduces 2 people, Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan donate $20 to Bill and $20 to you. You at this point have received back now $120. What you do now, that grid has finished. You now donate $40 out of that $120, and you can do it again and again and again. It never stops. Unless you literally do not want to donate, and then you stop receiving, as simple as that. So these are the 8 grid levels. You can see all the 8 there on the left-hand side. Underneath give, these are the amounts that you give, you donate, and they're the amounts split. So in the $40 grid, $20 to one person, $20 to another, and so on right down to grid number 8. Every grid has 6 positions in. In the level 1 grid, it's 6 times $20, level 2, 6 times $40, level 3, 6 times $75, 4, 6 times $150, and so on. So on the right, they are the total amounts you will receive on each grid. And as I said, you can receive those amounts time and time again and multiple times, sometimes during, in the same day. I've had days when the $40 grid, as an example, is completed 2 or 3 times in a day. Imagine if you had, as an example, let's say 1 or 2 donations on grid 8, and let's say 2, 3 of the middle grids, and let's say 3 or 4 in a month of the grid 1. Just work it out for yourself, or just work it out if you just had 1 donation off each of the grids and you had 8 grids open, how much you will have received in 1 month. Unbelievable. Okay, so that's the system. Does it matter what your background is or previous experiences? No, it really doesn't. My advice is, before you rush out and speak to somebody, ask your sponsor what you say and what you don't say, because that's the biggest mistake, is people rush out and try to speak to a friend and they really don't know what they're doing. To me, it's like going into a new job the next day and nobody's giving you any training. You're just going to fail miserably. This system is set up for success. It's designed with a fully automated system that will help you donate, fill your donation grids quickly. It does all of the work for you, all the explaining for you. There's videos allowing the videos to do the talking, not you. Using our system can create an endless stream of donations coming to you, and it literally never ends. As a member, you have complete access to the entire system, which includes a fully customized and personalized mobile landing page. You actually get 2 of these, and Frank and Hans's company sell these to other companies and have been doing for a long time now, for $250 each per year subscription. You actually get 2 of these included in your $25 for 6 months subscription. But you also get on top of that, well, there's two mobile landing pages. One is an IMPACT101 and one is a complete personalized mobile landing page to market any other business that you might have. It might be a traditional business, it might be a multi-level marketing business, it might be an online business, really doesn't matter. You can promote that using a personalized mobile landing page, and I can tell you, anybody that's using these will tell you they work fantastically. So you also get your own personal website, just like the one we're showing you, where people can get more information. The videos are on there with a state-of-the-art back office which tracks all of your donation grids, your team and your donations in real time, help and support from a team of leaders. And I can tell you, if you listen to what people are saying, if you're involved in our Facebook room, a lot of people, majority of people say they've never been in a system where they get so much help. We do these calls literally for you to invite anybody that has watched the video first to come onto these calls and use them to ask us questions, or we will just do the explaining, or they can just listen to the questions that the people ask. So the system is designed for success. It's designed to get you the results you want and deserve, and it's working for thousands of people. It can work for you as well, if you want it to work. So reach out. All you do to this system is to reach out to people and ask them a simple question, really. I actually use this system. I say to people, I wonder, could you help me? Do you know anybody that needs or wants more money right now? If they say me, or if they say to me, I don't know anybody right now. If they say I do, I literally send them a video. I ask them when they're going to watch that video, and I call them back 1 time. The 1 time is to find out, did they watch that video? If they didn't watch it, this is all I say. I say, listen, I haven't got time to chase you. If you really do need and want more money right now, watch that video when you've got time and you call me. That's it. I take it away from them. I'm not chasing anybody. I'm not pushing anybody. I'm not selling anybody anything. I'm not convincing anybody anything. It is literally just showing somebody a video. If somebody has watched that video and they want to know more, we literally just invite them onto a call like this, or we maybe use your sponsor to answer any questions. So all you do is basically share your Impact 101 landing page or your website page and ask somebody to watch a video. The videos do the work for you, and just keep repeating this process over and over again. That's all we do. Simple as that. Keep it simple. So this is the your back office. In the back office, you have a complete resource suite, various languages now in videos. So we now have it in English, French, Russian, Spanish, Hebrew, German, and there's other languages every week coming on. And very soon we will have the site in, I'm not sure exactly on these, but I know Spanish is probably the number one. I know Hindi is coming on very shortly, and also Chinese. And once the first websites are completely and fully properly translated, this is not Google Translate, this is proper translation, I can tell you they'll be rolling out one after the other. You also get, you can see exactly who you need to send donations to. You have a complete history of that. You can see all your grids, completed grids and existing grids that are open. They're all the countries that are in or actually active in those countries. Impactors are active in those countries. Currently, I think it's 135 countries. And you have a complete list of donations to confirm, donations to receive, and a complete history of both. There are videos on every step of the way. There's the description of the grids explained, but there is also a video there. And this is the fully configurable mobile landing page, which you can adapt to any business, any existing business you already have. So get back to the person that invited you on this call. Look at your reason why. Everybody has a reason why. The bigger that reason why, the bigger the incentive or the drive that's going to drive you. Learn the system. All you do in this system is list people, contact those people, show them a video, and follow up. That's it. That's all we do, and work as a team. You know that saying, if you work as a team, it makes life easy. Really, it really is. We work as a team. Everybody is helping each other. We're in a system that is a crowdfunding system, so we're all helping each other by contributing, and everybody just does a little bit. We have regular calls. I do these calls every Sunday night, every Tuesday night. Colin Simmons, I'm not sure if Colin's on, I'll see in a minute, does the calls on a Thursday night at 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Every Thursday. And Bruce Lamb is a colleague of mine, also is about to do calls as well. So I'm going to stop sharing now and see you all back on the screen. If anybody has got any questions, please unmute yourself. You're welcome to ask any question at all. I really don't mind. You know, a lot of people are put off when people come on and say things like, is this a Ponzi or is it a pyramid? That really doesn't put me off. It tells me one thing they don't understand, but the fact that they've asked the question tells you one thing, they're interested. So if anybody does have any questions, you're quite welcome to ask. Just want to let you know, I was on a call this morning with Colin. Colin, if you can, just unmute yourself, because I'd love you to tell everybody what we experienced this morning to a team of people in India.
Hi Duncan, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Hi, we can hear you, Colin. That's okay, you know we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. This morning's call was with a team out in India.
In Delhi.
And there must have been about 200 people on that call. In Delhi, it was incredible. It just shows what can happen when you get a whole bunch of people together. These guys are some with impact already. They are just they're going to take over the world.
I know. Thanks, Colin. The sound isn't brilliant, so thanks very much for just meshing that. I just want to tell people how this all came about as well. A lot of you know Robert. I don't think he's on tonight. But I know Robert. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying, but he struggled a little bit initially. The key with this system is consistency. Keep doing it. Don't give up. Just keep chipping away. And I can tell you, Robert, I think he contacted or made contact with this guy on Skype. I think, not on Skype, sorry, on Facebook. Whatever happened, he watched the video. The next minute, he contacted Robert, and a call was arranged with Frank. And I can tell you, I saw the results of that today. One person with 200 odd people in one room, in one meeting. It's exploding, absolutely exploding. We haven't seen anything yet. And this is such early days. So, you know, I know it's not easy. Nothing's easy in life. But the key to this system and the key to you being successful is to be consistent, don't give up, keep chipping away, and at some point you're going to hit on somebody. It's not always the people that you introduce, it's often the people they introduce. As an example, I'm not saying, you know, Robert was a waste of time, but as an example, I introduced Colin. Colin introduced Robert. Robert introduced this guy in India. Now, that could be somebody that you've introduced who introduces somebody else, and the next minute you've got a high flyer in your business that sees this, runs faster than you, and your business is rocking and rolling. And it can happen to anybody. The only time it doesn't happen is when you give up or slow down or go and look at something else, because the grass always looks greener. But let me tell you this, the grass always does look greener, but you still have to work. I don't know about you, but I've been in so many different types of businesses, every conceivable type of business and system you can imagine. Some of them have worked fantastic, but unfortunately they're not around anymore for various reasons. Here is a system where we're not reliant on a company. The company has put together a platform, a website basically, and all that website does is provide us a tool to allow us to generate revenue through donations as many times as we want, for as long as we want. Think about it, really think about it. An amazing system. I can tell you, when I got, by chance, speaking to Frank that night, I knew there was something special about him. When I spoke to John, and I said to John, well, you know, John, how well do you know Frank? This is what he said to me straight away. He said, Duncan, I can tell you, I've known Frank for 25 years. He's the most honest, ethical guy you could ever meet. And one of the things he mentioned, he said, when he does something, he does it properly, and I mean properly. And I can tell you that I've got to know Frank over the last couple of months, and I can tell you exactly that. When we wanted to set up the slides, it wasn't a case of just putting some slides together. I can tell you they had to be absolutely correct. The color, the text, the spelling, everything. And when Frank does anything, the videos translated, they have to be done properly. Now you're going to see the websites all translated into various languages. And just so you know, there is no other company out there, no crowdfunding company that has websites translated in other languages. So we are right at the beginning here. We haven't seen anything yet. And when I saw what was going on in India today, I tell you what, I was motivated. I couldn't believe it. You know, these guys are not messing around. It's phenomenal. There's a video, actually, you can go and watch it. It's just great, inspiring to see. Anybody got any questions? Listen, if you want to unmute yourself, fire away with any questions at all.
So where's this video then, Duncan?
It's actually on the Facebook group on IMPACT101 Crowdfunding. You know, the one that's, I know there's two, and I get a bit confused over that. There's one with 4,000 members. It's that one.
It's on that one. Lovely. Okay, we'll go and have a look at that with pleasure.
Or if you message Robert, in fact, I've just uploaded it onto my YouTube channel, so you can go and look at it there if you want.
Fantastic. Thank you. Cheers.
Lincoln, did you want to ask a question? I did see you unmute yourself. Are you okay?
You mentioned there that if you can afford it, you do the first 3 grids.
If you can afford it. Listen, Lincoln, if you can afford it, go for more. But listen, let me just explain that so people understand. When I first spoke to John, this was with the previous company, I asked him a question, because for somebody to receive 56,000 in 16 days from start in their bank, 2 things crossed my mind. One, he's either a massive recruiter, or 2, he had lots of money. Because you know yourself, money makes money. When you've got lots of money and you can invest that into something where you can use compounding, you can make even more money quickly. Problem is, most people haven't got spare money to invest. So when I spoke to John, there were 2 main questions I wanted to ask. One was, how many people had he sponsored to get that kind of an income, and what amount did he start with? Now, the answer to the first one was he had recruited a few, not that many, 10 to be precise. Not that many, really. Most people, if they really wanted to, could sponsor 10 if they really, really wanted to. But the other question answered put a little bit of doubt in my mind, because when I asked him how much did he start with, this is what he told me, 7,500. Now, my financial situation at that time really, that was no way, there was no way I had that kind of money. So I asked him another question. I said, so what's the minimum? And he told me with that company, it was $250. And I asked him another question. So are you telling me that if I started with the minimum, I could get to where you are right now, working hard? And he said, yes. And he was absolutely right. And he also said something else. That was the only amount, and it's the only amount you will ever be out of pocket with, whatever amount you start with. It doesn't matter whether you start with 1 grid, 3 grids, 5 grids, or 8 grids. That is the only time you will be out of pocket. From that point on, you will receive donations, and you always receive 3 times more than what you've donated. So very quickly, it's a completely self-funding system. So the answer to your question, Lincoln, start where you can afford to start. The more grids you start with, the faster you see the results.
How much is it for 3 grids?
It works out, I think it's $270, I think.
For all 3?
Yeah. Plus, yeah, I think that's it. If somebody could just work it out for me. I'm not good at maths. It's $40, $80.
275.
How much is it?
275.
Thank you, Ian. Good on
3
you.
grids.
So it's $275, Lincoln.
Right.
So that is the only one out of time amount you will be out of pocket. From that point on, you are.
And then you pay the $40 for the 12 months on top of that.
Yes, you do, or $25, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope that helps. Anybody else got any questions?
Yes.
I've got one, Duncan.
Go on, Reg.
Yeah, you covered it the other night, but I'd like a more detail if you don't mind. What's the difference between network marketing and crowdfunding?
Good question. Well, there's a couple of answers, right? First of all, in multi-level marketing, can I just put everybody on mute for a second? Lynn, I will come back to you in a second. I'm just going to put...
That's fine, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, let me just mute everybody. Okay, you can unmute yourselves, but if you have got noise in the background, if you do want to ask a question without unmuting yourself, you can put a message in the chat room, by the way, on the bottom of your screen there. The answer to your question, who asked that? I can't remember now, Reg, I think it was. Multi-level marketing, first main difference. Multi-level marketing is, as it says, you get paid on multiple levels. We don't get paid on levels. In fact, we don't get paid. Think about it. We receive a donation. There is a big difference. Yeah. In multi-level marketing, you earn money. In this system, we receive donations. We don't earn anything. It's one person choosing to donate to you. So hope that answers your question, Reg, and anybody else that's wondering, this is definitely not multi-level marketing or anything like it. So when somebody says to you, oh, that's one of those multi-level marketing things, no, it isn't. Totally the opposite.
And one other thing with a multi-level marketing, you'd be relying on the company to pay you, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, exactly, yes. No money goes to the company other than the $25 or the $40, yeah.
Well put.
Thank you, Reg. Lynn, are you there? Who else opened up their mic? Was it Lynn Gravel?
Gravel.
Gravel, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. It looks like gravel. Okay, Duncan. When John said, when you asked how much did he start with, did you say he started with 7,500?
Yeah. Remember, Lynn. This was
prior.
with the previous company, and in the previous company, the minimum start was 250.
Correct. So my question would be, do you know if when he did that, did he just jump in with that without getting 2 people in each grid, or do you even know?
Lynn, you know yourself, you don't need 2 people in each grid. Let me explain.
Okay.
You can receive donations on each grid. When I say one time, you can actually receive up to 6 donations in each grid without introducing anybody at each grid level.
Correct.
Okay. So let me give you an example. Let's say you join today at all 8 grids. You could receive donations in grid 1 up to grid 8 and ongoing until that grid finishes. At that point, when each grid has finished, you need 2 people in each grid to open a new grid. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, it could be the same 2 people. You could literally do this whole system with the same 2 people. Let me give you an example. I introduce, let's say, John and Sue today, and they start on, let's say, the $40 grid. But I help them introduce 2 people, and once they are receiving donations, they then use some of those donations to upgrade, so they now have the $40 and the $80 grid. Yeah, that now means I am qualified in the $40 grid, the $80 grid. Now, I carry on working with them, helping their people introduce people, and they upgrade now to the 3rd grid. So I'm now qualified with the same 2 people, the only 2 people I've introduced in the 40, the 80, and the 150. That can carry on, in theory, up to the 8 grids, and you've only ever introduced 2 people. Now, the question is, do you rely on 2 people? No, I wouldn't. Because people will run, it's there. Now, listen, this is not a business. This is a system. But you need to treat it like a business. You know, I always say to people, listen, if you started your own business tomorrow, first of all, it would cost you a lot more than let's say $500 or even the full amount, right? It's a small amount really compared to what I call a traditional business. When I started my building company, and this was 30 odd years ago, I spent $30,000 and put my house on the line, and then went further and further into debt to borrow money to start that business off. And that was, I can tell you, we were not even in profit until 5 years. Now, here is a system, it's not a business, that you can start with as little as $65, the minimum. Now, you started, as we discussed, with the 3 grids. Let's be realistic, it's $275. What's that in pounds? It's what, 200 quid? You tell me what business you could start. I'm talking about traditional business or any business, for as much as that, and that is the only amount you ever have to outlay. From that point on, it's receiving money from that point on. Now, here's the other thing. No overheads, no staff, no offices, nothing. You know, traditional businesses, I mean, I can remember I've had various businesses. I had an advertising bill just with Google alone of $3,000 a month. Here's a system that you need never put your hand in your pocket again, and you constantly receive donations. So,
right.
hope that's helpful.
Duncan, I had one prospect say to me after I sent the information, it really felt like a dig at me in a sense, or at it. And
Go on.
she said, I'd rather earn my money.
Fine.
I let it go. Let it go.
Listen, that's the unfortunate option most people have got. I mean, what were we all brought up to believe? Go out and get a good job. And
Exactly.
what are we taught to do? Work hard for 40 years and then hopefully retire on a pension. And you know what
Exactly.
pensions now. Now, here's your choice here. You can work hard for 6 months, a year in this, and you can literally retire. It really is up to you. Now, what choice do most people choose? They go and choose to trade time for money. There's the problem. Because when you trade time for money, there's one major problem. You've only got so many hours in the day. You can only work so many hours, so you'll only ever receive so much income. In crowdfunding, in this system, you can literally receive as much as you need to do whatever you want to do.
Correct.
That's it.
Good nuggets.
Well, it's just logic if you think about it.
It's what?
It's just logic, really.
Yeah, logic. Okay. Yeah.
Lynn, you just tell those people, do they know what a job is? It's called just over broke.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. And I think we were all educated, brought up to believe in the, 40-hour plus work week, no matter what cost to the individual.
Exactly.
And, it's just not, it's not all it's cracked up to be at all.
Well, Lynn, and neither is running your own business, I'll tell you. I mean, a lot of people would like to maybe pack in their job and run their own business. But let me tell you this, and I'm telling you from experience, problem is with a traditional business, it's like a trap again. I'm just going to mute everybody because I can hear noise in the background. Just bear with me a second. In a traditional company, when I started my building company, there was just me and another guy. Then we needed to employ more people. You think because you employ people, it's going to make life easier. Do you know what happens? You just end on taking on more and more work to keep those people employed. And then you employ more people to do things like wages. And then you employ an accountant to do the accounts. And what you end up is having to find more and more work, and you have to keep on going, and you're in a trap. You have to keep that work coming in to keep supplying the money to provide all the stuff that you need. Here is this is the whole point about trading time for money. I realized I had no time. I had plenty of money coming in, but no time to even live. Here's a system. It's not a business, right, that you can run when you want. It's so simple. You can do it anywhere. You can literally be out having a meal. You can be chatting to a waitress that's serving you. You ask her a question. Excuse me, I wonder, could you help me? I'm looking, as an example, in the UK, we get the majority of people working in food now are from Europe. So it's an easy way of asking a question. I will often ask the waiter or waitress a question. I'll say, excuse me, can I ask you, where are you from? They'll tell me, Poland, let's say. And I'll just take that as a brilliant opener, because I'll say, listen, you might be able to help me. I'm looking for people in Poland who need or want more money. Do you know anybody? And then wait. And all I have is my business card, which just has my name, phone number, email address. And I just say to that person, if they say to me, well, I might be interested, what is it? I say, give me a call. I'm testing them. Will they even call me? Even when they call me, they normally say, do you remember me? I served you in the restaurant where we met. And they'll ask me, can you tell me about this business? I do not say anything. I literally say, give me your email. I'm going to send you a video. When do you think you'll be able to watch that video? And they tell me. Now, that is the only time I call that person back to ask them two questions. One, did they get my email? And two, did they watch the video? And as I said, they'll only generally give you two answers. One is, I haven't had time. If they say that, I just say, listen, I haven't got time to chase you either. If you're serious and you as you said to me, you need or want more money, watch that video. And if you want to know more, you call me. Take it away from people. Stop chasing people. Stop trying to, I mean, I hear this all the time. Somebody phones me up and says, how do I convince my best mate to do this? Don't. Listen, you know that saying, if you lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. You can lead somebody, push somebody, and in the end, you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time because they didn't really want to do it in the first place. So don't push people, don't chase people. I say to people that I recruit, if you call me, I'll help you. If you don't call me, I presume you're fine or you're not interested. That's it. I'm not chasing anybody. They can chase me and I will help them. I will help anybody. But I'm not chasing people. I'm not pushing people. They either want to do it or they don't. Simple as that. So I hope that helps. If anybody's got any more questions, I don't know about you, but it is Sunday night. And
I don't know.
Who's that? Oh, it's Tony. Hi, Tony.
How are you doing? You're on form tonight, boy. You're on fire.
Listen, Tony, I'm on fire because I saw what's going on in India and I'm thinking, wow, it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Anybody heard of a multi-billionaire in America called Tim Draper?
Yes, I've heard of him.
He is just now attaching crowdfunding to some of his businesses.
Is he?
How about that?
Where did you hear that from, Tony?
Because I know what's going on.
Good. Well, you know yourself, Trump did it. I mean, Trump used crowdfunding to raise money to build the wall, didn't it?
Well, there you are, you see.
Yeah. Listen, governments use it to raise money.
That's what I'm going to do because we're just about to launch our advertising business. We're just waiting for our app to finish. And there's a possibility that we will be attaching crowdfunding after what I hear about all of this, you know. Don't know how to do it yet, but I'll find out and we'll be doing it.
Good.
I have not joined this business, but I shall have a word with you either tomorrow or the next day. I would have done it before this week. Unfortunately, I've been ill, so better next week. And for $275, I'm in.
Good on you, Tony. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm shutting up now. Bye.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Tony. Right, just to finish off, I just want to say one thing, because Tony said something there about crowdfunding. Just let me put everybody on mute because there's noise in the background. I honestly, I'm going to say this again. I speak to Frank regularly. In fact, I'm going to have a quick word with him after this call. I can tell you this guy is not messing around. He is serious, deadly serious. This will be the #1 crowdfunding system in the world. Now, you might not believe that, but I can hear and see what's going on in the background. And I can tell you, to translate a website properly costs between 10 and 20,000 per language. Well, think about it. I don't know how many members there are of Impact 101. That's certainly not going to pay, you know, for all the languages in the world to translate the site. He is not messing around. He knows where this is going. This will be the #1 crowdfunding system by choice in the world. You watch, mark my words. You've only got to look at the number of views this company is getting. I mean, the last count, I'm looking at my figures here, and this you'll hear on Wednesday, the latest figures. Last time they announced it, total completed donations were $1.3 million in donations in just under 3 months. And the amount of views to the website, 3.2 million views to the website. This is not even 6 months old yet, not even half of that just yet. Absolutely amazing. So take this seriously. It is an amazing system. Just take it seriously. Don't give up. Be consistent. Just do a little bit every day if you can, and don't ever, ever give up. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to finish for the evening. Good night. I'll hopefully hear you on the Wednesday call. That is going to be exciting this year. I will call you, Tony. Ian. Yes.
Thank you, Duncan. Well done.
You're welcome. Good
Thank
night.
you, Duncan.
You're welcome.
Bye, Duncan. Great job.
Thanks,
Great
Duncan.
call.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Duncan.
Bye.
Well,
Good night.
bye now.